Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. I am Anna, author of the website Russian Vagabond, of this channel where we are talking about life in Germany and Austria. Today our topic gonna be freelance in Germany. How you, as a non-EU foreigner or EU foreigner, can work in Germany as a freelancer. Non-EU citizens, because for EU citizens you don't really need to know much, because you can just travel to Germany and work as a freelancer. So as a non-EU citizen, you will need a visa. And so for your luck, there's the visa, the freelance visa in Germany. So the two different visas in Germany. For self-employed people, freelance visa and visa for self-employment. But firstly, what is freelance? In Germany, freelance is different maybe as in other countries. So in Germany, freelancing and self-employment is separated. To be a freelance, it's easier, it's also not that expensive in relation to taxes as to be a self-employed in Germany. But freelancing is reserved for particular professions. In Germany, they call liberal professions or Freiberufe. So you can only work in these professions, have a qualifications for these professions and be a freelancer. Otherwise, you will need to call yourself a self-employed and register actually a business in Germany, a trade. Gewerbe. In this video we are gonna figure out who you are you really freelancer, or you will need to register a small business in Germany or trade, Gewerbe, and become a sole proprietor. So as I said, Germany has these liberal professions, the Freiberufe. There are the list of different kinds of professions, but all of them require you to have a high degree, at least a bachelor, and be a specialist in such an area where you can work independently, consult, you can treat people like as a doctor, you can create some project as IT specialized, as an engineer. So these professions must give you a freedom to do your own work, you know, because when you are a manager, you can't be independent, you can't call yourself as a Freiberufler. Some examples of Freiberufler: doctors, lawyers, tax advisors, engineers, also included IT professions, software developers, translators, also graphic designers. If your profession related to this, if it's somehow similar, you can also be a liberal profession, because the Finanzamt in Germany will decide if your profession is liberal or not, and when you come to Germany or when you apply for a freelance visa, they will decide: are you eligible for freelance visa? Is your profession is really liberal in Germany? Or you need to apply for a self-employed visa. So other professions like scientific profession related to teaching, or some artistic profession if you're also artist and self-employed writer. Some professions involved in teaching, education professions. It's also included in liberal professions in Germany. So now you know that only when you have a liberal profession, you have a high degree, you can work as a freelancer, you can officially call yourself a freelancer in Germany and apply for a freelance visa. Otherwise, you are not freelancer, you need to register a trade in Germany and you need to apply for a self-employed visa, which is different, and requirements are also different. I would say freelance visa it's more easier. So which documents you will need to apply for a freelance visa if you are a liberal professional? First, it's your portfolio of your work, if you have it, your qualification, your high degree, you need to have this, which is recognized in Germany. Your proof of income, maybe you already have a customers, some amount of money in a banking account, because the German government wants to see that you are secure financially in the next months and maybe years. So not apply without any money or customers or invoices. Also your experience, your prior experience is important. Have you already worked as a freelancer before? Can you prove it? It's also will be required for your application. Also letter of intent of German companies who would like to hire you, who are interested in your services. It's also very helpful for decision making of the German government, so they can see that your services are required in Germany and you are desirable. For Freiberufler, customers are usually the end customers, working for customers and not for businesses. So therefore, they can also open their small office or have a practice like a doctor's, dentist. They are still Freiberufler, it's liberal profession, and they pay less tax, but they are not really freelancers like graphic designer, for example, who are not really going to open an office. So as a liberal profession, you can have your office, you still can have like a small clinic and still be a freelancer or a Freiberufler and pay less taxes. So how you can register as a freelancer in Germany if you fall into liberal professions? It's very easy. It's easier than register a trade or solopreneurship. You just need to visit the Finanzamt to receive your tax number and you are basically set. Just open your banking account and start writing in invoices. And as a trade, if you are not in these professions, go to the Finanzamt, but before you need to go to Gewerbeamt to register Gewerbe. Gewerbe is a trade, so you are like a small business now, you are a sole proprietor. For this you pay like 20 euro. It's very inexpensive way to start a business. It's not setting up a company. Even you can set up a company, but this is a more complicated and more expensive way. For the beginning, you can work as a sole proprietor for just 20 euro setup cost, without any additional expenses like accounting, because as a sole proprietor you just need to submit your income and your expenses and a difference. There are no double entry bookkeeping is required. As well as for freelancers, if you are registered just as a freelancer, you also don't need to have a double entry bookkeeping. Everything is very easy and everything is very low cost. And if you are not a freelancer, you need to apply for a self-employed visa. There are some different documents are required, such as business plan. It can be in German or in English also, but short summary must be in German. Your financial plan, your proof of funds, how much funds you have, your also revenue forecast for your small business, your resume or CV, credentials, education, diploma, which education you have, perfectly when it's related to the activity you want to do in Germany. And after Germany will prove if your business plan and if your activity is good for Germany, if there is some financial interest. So you apply all these visas from your home country and then you wait and then you can travel to Germany. If you are from countries such as US, Australia, South Korea, Israel, Japan and some others, it's privileged countries. You can travel to Germany, stay up to 3 months and apply from Germany for a visa. You can just decide maybe you want to work as a freelancer and you can apply from Germany. What about tax? As a freelancer in Germany, you are not paying so much tax as corporations pay. Even if you are a trade, a solo proprietor, you are still not paying so much taxes. You just pay your income taxes. There are different brackets, different percentages, and VAT taxes. VAT is value added tax, 19% in Germany, and basically you'll pay VAT only after 17,000 in the profit, not in the revenue, in the annual profit. After you will pay the VAT. As a Gewerbe, as a trade, you also might pay trade taxes after you exceed of 24,500 euro in year annual profit. After you will pay Gewerbesteuer or trade tax of 15%. And Gewerbesteuer or trade tax varies between 5% and 17%, depending on the region and city you are living and your trade register in. It's basically all taxes you are going to face, But don't forget about social contributions, because now you don't have an employer. You need to pay your health insurance and other social contributions from your income. And this can be a little bit too much because you never paid this as an employer, you don't know these numbers, and it's quite a lot actually. For example, just for pension, you will pay 19.5% of your income, of your annual income. And for health insurance, you need to pay 14.6% of your income as well. 35% in general, only for socials, will go from your income, and then additionally you need to pay income taxes. So when you're planning your financials, you're planning your revenue, always think how much you will pay in the end of the year for a value additional tax, how much you pay for socials, because it can set you aside in quite a lot of money. Always plan financials very well. So this was all for today about freelancing in Germany. Little bit to summarize it: if your profession falls into liberal profession, you can be a fully freelancer in Germany. You can be a Freiberufler. You apply for a freelance visa from your home country. If your profession is not liberal, you are a business owner, you are a solo proprietor. You will need to register a trade in Germany or a Gewerbe and become a business owner, a solo proprietor. So for this reason, you need to apply for a self-employment visa for Germany, which also exists. They both are quite similar and they both are possible if you have high degree qualifications which are required for your professions, because you can't be a teacher and you want to be a graphic designer in Germany, you need to have a graphic designer degree. And also check with the German authorities if your profession is liberal or not. If you're willing to work as a freelancer in Germany, it's a great place to be, because you have a lot of companies who can be your potential customers. It's just a great economy and you can travel all over Europe. Why just not come and work in Germany? A relatively smaller taxes than you would be in maybe some other country, and just be independent. You can travel everywhere in Europe and still work in your German customers. That was all information for today about freelancing and self-employment in Germany. I hope you enjoyed this and I will see you in the next video, but don't forget to subscribe.